Hi, everyone, and welcome to our August edition. Hope you're having a great summer. Have any plans maybe of going to any Irish fests later on this summer and into the fall? Well, we have a listing of those festivals that are planned for not only August, but September, October, even a few going on in November. We'll tell you all about that later on in the podcast. We also have an expert on Presbyterian records, and he's going to be talking to us during our August webinar, and we'll be talking about the details on that as well. So let's get down to what else we have going on for the month of August at the IGSI. Our Irish Saturday for the month of August will be on August 9th. Have some Irish research questions or just want to be able to get started? Stop on by the Hoffman Research Library, which is located at the Minnesota Genealogy Center in Mendota Heights, Minnesota. Now, here's an opportunity to get those Irish questions answered. The Minnesota Genealogy Center is located at 1385 Mendota Heights Road, Suite 100. You can also stop by the library during regular business hours. And to find out more about the library and hours of operations, go to the website at mngs.org. And our webinar for August will feature Dr. William Roulston. His topic is called Researching Presbyterian Ancestors in Ireland. The presentation will be held on August 23rd. This will be an online presentation only on Zoom. The webinar will begin at 10:30 a.m. and will last until noon Central Time. The fee is $15 for members with a discount code and $20 for non-members. Dr. William Roulston will give us his presentation from Belfast, Northern Ireland. He has a PhD in archaeology, and for nearly 30 years he has been with the Ulster Historical Foundation as a researcher, author, and lecturer. Again, this is on August 23rd. Registration is now available on the IGSI's website at irishgenealogical.org. Well, as I mentioned, Dr. William Roulston is a well-known speaker. He's a researcher. He's the author of several books, including this one, Researching Scots-Irish Ancestors, which he's had out for a few years. And he's had one out on Presbyterian research, which is what he's going to be talking about in August when he discusses during the IGSI webinar. And I had an opportunity to speak to him about the talk that he's going to be doing and some other work that he's done on Ulster Scots research.
I suppose the first thing I'll be explaining is that there's no one Presbyterian church in Ireland any more than there is in Scotland or United States or Canada, wherever Presbyterians have gone, that there are different varieties of Presbyterianism. And looking briefly at you might say just the differences between them. In one sense, the differences between them are minor in terms of structure and organization. Certainly in terms of the types of records that Presbyterians generate, they're more or less the same across the different branches of Presbyterianism. And so then going on to look at, well, what records are available? How do you use them? And of course, where do you find them?
Presbyterian Archive in Belfast, is that correct?
Yes, that's right. The Presbyterian Historical Society of Ireland maintains a library and archive in Belfast City Centre. So it's been going now for nearly 120 years, and it's located in the Assembly Buildings, which is the headquarters of the Presbyterian Church in Ireland. And so they maintain a library and archive there. You'll also find a very large archive of Presbyterian material in Prony, in the Public Record Office of Northern Ireland. And so between the two places, there is actually a significant body of material that people can use looking for Presbyterian ancestors. The first Presbyterians in Ireland, interestingly, were English, and they were in Dublin in the late 16th century. But the Presbyterian Church today, the different Presbyterian churches today, owe their origins primarily to the movement of Scottish families into Ulster in the 17th century, largely but not exclusively as part of the plantation of Ulster. Now, the settlers themselves were not necessarily Presbyterians exclusively. Some were Anglicans or Episcopalians, some were Catholics. There was no distinct Presbyterian church in early 17th century Ulster. Rather, what you find is that a number of ministers from Scotland who held to Presbyterian principles were among the migrants to Ulster. And to begin with, they were allowed a degree of latitude in terms of practicing their beliefs and holding to their doctrines. Now, that resulted in the creation of you might say almost proto-Presbyterian congregations which were adopting Presbyterianism, but were not part of a wider structure of presbytery and synod and general assembly. However, in 1642, a presbytery was formed at Carrickfergus in County Antrim, and it's from that presbytery that the different branches of Presbyterianism in Ireland derive from. So that would be, you might say, in an institutional sense, the origins of the Presbyterian Church can be traced to that first presbytery in 1642.
So if somebody were to come over then, say like this fall, and try and search Presbyterian records,
Yeah.
A, what would they find? And B, how far back could they go?
Okay. Uh, one of the one of the positives regarding Presbyterian records is that you're not simply depending on registers of baptisms and marriages. Presbyterianism, by its very nature, gives rise to records. And so you'll find records of the kirk sessions. This is like the governing body within individual congregations. Other congregational records include committee books. You may find lists of seat holders in the Presbyterian meeting house. There may be financial records recording givings to the church. So you'll find quite a few different types of record within the local congregation. And then within the broader structures of Presbyterianism, you'll get records relating to presbyteries, and then records relating to synods and the General Assembly. So there's actually quite a broad range of different records that are available for researching Presbyterian ancestors. Now, in terms of how far back can you go? Sadly, most congregational records don't go back any earlier than 1800. Now, there are exceptions to that. The very earliest Presbyterian congregational records are for the congregation in the town of Antrim, in County Antrim, and they go back as far as the 1670s. But that's unusual. Now, there are some others from the late 17th century, Dundonald, for instance, Burt in Donegal. But for the most part, the records you're looking at will be dating from the early 19th century onwards.
Okay.
Having said that, within the broader category of Presbyterian records, there is certainly a good deal of earlier material from administrative records and so on.
In addition to the Presbyterian records, but also in investigating farmers in Ireland, and also doing research in Ireland as far as Scots-Irish records. What's your latest book that you have out now?
Well, I'm working on a volume at the moment on researching ancestors in the 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be along similar lines to my book on researching ancestors in the 17th and 18th centuries. But it's going to look at the period, from 1800, roughly speaking, through to the outbreak of the First World War. So again, I'm going to be looking at the different categories of record. Right now, actually, just before we started this interview, I was working on a chapter looking at records relating to law and order in Ireland, in Ulster, specifically in Ulster, but obviously it's within a broader All Ireland context. So, as you know, Dave, it's a truism within genealogy that you're more likely to find out information on your ancestors if they disobeyed the law, if they broke the law, if they were criminals, than if they were fine, upstanding citizens. Their good deeds
I
were
never
not
found that in
recorded.
my family. No,
Yes.
I laugh because he knows the. I actually found something last time I was there. Okay.
Yep, so absolutely, the good deeds of our ancestors are not as likely to be recorded as their bad deeds, because of the impact of Presbyterianism not only on this island but its impact around the world. It's a very interesting subject. I mean, millions of people around the world have a Presbyterian ancestor from Ireland. You mentioned the connections with Presbyterians going overseas. So even from the late 17th century, Presbyterians from Ulster and Ireland were going out to the eastern seaboard of what is now the United States. And initially, many of them were settled in the Chesapeake region, in the Delmarva Peninsula. And so we see a number of Presbyterian ministers, especially from the northwest of the Ireland, the likes of Francis McKeamy, who came from Donegal, who's regarded as the father of American Presbyterianism. He immigrated to America in 1683, and others too. And so congregations were established at different places. And then we think, if we go forward to the period of the American Revolution, and we're very much thinking about that over here because of the contribution of people from this island made to the Revolution, looking at the Presbyterian Church as having a very strong influence on the course of events and of the roles played by individual ministers. So it's a very interesting story of the migration not only of people, but also of principles and ideas and their faith.
And that is our episode for the month of August. Thanks to Dr. William Roulston for his interview. And also hope you have a wonderful August and that you get out there and enjoy some of those Irish festivals that are going on across the U.S. and in Canada as well. And we'll see you again coming up in the month of September. Have yourself a great month and good luck in your research. Are you a member of the IGSI? You're not, but you'd like to be? Here's all you have to do. Head to the website at irishgenealogical.org. There you'll find the join link on the left side of the page, and that's where you can sign up and become a member. You can also register for any of the webinars this year on the website as well, and as a member you can also see past webinars from the previous year. And besides enjoying all the members' benefits, you can always sign in and go over many of the programs and services that the IGSI has to offer, and that would include viewing past webinars, surname interests, the e-newsletter. Would you like to be a volunteer at the IGSI? Here's all you have to do. Get on the website at irishgenealogical.org and scroll down to the volunteer link. There you can see all the options that are available to you. That would include helping out with the Irish Fest in Minnesota, or any of the social and educational programs, or you could even help out with the social media platforms and podcasts, or the SEPS magazine and Genealogist newsletter. Just click on the Volunteer Now link and sign up. For more information about the Irish Genealogical Society International, go to the website at irishgenealogical.org. And for questions regarding the podcast, send an email to podcast@irishgenealogical.org.